is Tish. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about different shows and movies and stuff that I'm watching on the BET Plus app. I noticed that other people have a lot of different videos about stuff that they're watching on Netflix and Hulu, Disney Plus and stuff like that. I have those streaming services, but I haven't really seen too many videos about people talking about what they're watching on the BET Plus app. And since I have BET Plus and I actually love it, I wanted to discuss some of the great shows and stuff that I'm watching on the app. One of the main reasons that I decided to purchase the BET Plus app is because of the original series that they have different original series that they are running on the BET Plus app exclusively. Like, you can't watch the series on BET, you know, if you have cable and stuff like that. You actually have to get the app. And I learned about some of these shows and stuff because they had a free trial on BET where they were like showing different series and stuff that they have exclusively on the BET Plus app. They were showing it on BET, and I was like, hold up, I want to finish these series off and stuff. So I decided to get the app. One of the shows in particular that caught my fancy, caught my eye, is the show Bigger. The show focuses around 5 best friends, 3 girls and 2 men that are friends, and it's like showing their friendship. And the main character, she is in a toss-up between whether or not she should stay in this relationship with this successful gynecologist that she has been proposed to, or if she should seek out a more intimately fulfilling relationship with other men because he's not satisfying her. But yeah, so I started watching that show, and it's really great. It's really great. You really have to check it out. One of my favorite scenes that I was like, hot, was when one of the girls, she was messing with one of the guy friends that was in the bed, and she was on the phone talking to one of her other guy friends. And he was like, really, you gonna do that in front of me? You know, I'm laying right here in your bed. She said, are you gonna be in my bed or in your feelings? So I said, okay, I gotta watch this. So yes, that show is amazing. You should definitely check it out. It's hilarious. Another show that I watch that's exclusively on BET Plus is the First Wives Club. And that show also focuses around best friends. It's 3 best friends, and Jill Scott, the singer Jill Scott, she actually stars in that show along with Sterling K. Brown's wife. Sterling K. Brown, he stars on the show This Is Us, which I also love. But yeah, his wife, excuse me, his wife is also on the show First Wives Club, and it's centered around 3 women who are best friends. One is a famous singer, another one, I believe she's an attorney or something, and then the other friend is some kind of doctor or something. But yes, it centers around 3 girlfriends and their sisterhood and their marital relationships, and so it's really good. That show is really funny. I love the energy that the women exhibit, and then the different guest appearances that they have. And my guy Ron Rico Lee, he is also on the show. He is hilarious. He stars as one of the ladies' husbands. So yeah, that show is really cute. It's really funny. It also shows the sisterhood that, you know, a lot of us women, especially black women, that we have for each other. You know, we could be going through terrible times in our lives, but we heavily rely on each other as sisters, as best friends and stuff to get through it. And with the help of our friends, we can get through anything. I'm also looking at different reality shows on the BET Plus app, and they actually show reality shows that didn't even originally show on BET. They have some reality shows on there that were originally aired on VH1, being as though BET is now owned by Viacom, who owns VH1. So yeah, I'm able to catch up on some of my reality shows that I saw a long time ago that I wanted to rewatch. For instance, the T.O. show. I used to love the T.O. show, but looking back at it now, I'm like, some of these scenes are so scripted, it's so fake, but I like the T.O. show. If you're not familiar with that show, the T.O. show is about Terrell Owens, who is a former football player, and his two female assistants who were best friends. I don't know if they're still his assistants. They either were his assistants or PR. They did something for him. But yeah, their whole dynamic and their friendship and stuff and different issues that they were going on. And I especially like the little storyline that they had with Keita and her now husband, because at the time of they were filming the reality show, they weren't married, but they're married now. So yeah, like the T.O. show. Other reality shows that I'm able to watch on BET Plus app that I love that are old now are the Shears, which is centered around Karen Clark Sheard, who is a famous gospel singer, and she's a member of the Clark Sisters, which is a legendary gospel group. So the Shears is focused on Karen Clark Sheard, her husband Bishop Drew Sheard, and also their two children, Kiera Sheard, who is also a famous gospel singer, and her son Jay Drew, who produces a lot of Kiera's music. And so they're a brother-sister duo that like create these massive gospel hits, you know, that are for like the contemporary gospel audience. And the show just shows that even though this is a very religious family, they have some issues that us normal folk, you know, who are not in that PK preacher kid lifestyle, they face some of the issues that some of the issues that we face in our lives too. It shows that they're just regular people like us. I also get a chance to go back and watch Nellyville. Nellyville is a reality show based on the rapper Nelly. Underlay, mama, uh-oh. Y'all know who Nelly is. Country grandma. Y'all know what me down now, baby. I'm straight up right from baby. Anyway, yes, so the show Nellyville is centered around Nelly and him being a single father. At the time that this reality show was shot, this is an old reality show. It came out over 5 years ago. It was originally on BET, but you can watch it again back on BET Plus, and it shows when him as a single father. He has two biological children, and he was also raising two children that his sister had. His sister passed away of cancer, so it just shows his journey as a single father, which is something that we never really got to see before. We know Nelly as being, you know, a rapper, rocking his Air Force Ones, but yeah, we get to see him as a single father, so I really like this show, and I watched that on the BET Plus app. Speaking of old reality shows that used to air on BET that are now located on the BET Plus app that which we can go back and rewatch, they also have College Hill. And I used to watch College Hill back in the day when I was in high school. It really got me excited about going to college once I graduated and actually going to an HBCU. So I based my expectations of what college would be like on episodes that I saw on College Hill. But yes, the season that I watch on BET Plus app is the season that was based in the Virgin Islands. And if you are familiar with that, or if you need me to tell you, basically that season was when they had a group of college students originally from California. They went off to college in the Virgin Islands, so they also had students from the Virgin Islands, and they had the Cali kids together, and they were bickering and fighting. It was lots of tension. Then it started to blow up when two girls, one from each clique, got into an epic brawl. So yeah, I had to go back and see that, because I was like, ooh, you know, let me see that fight. Who do I think was right or wrong in this situation? But yeah, so I watched College Hill, Virgin Islands. Another reality show that's on the BET Plus app that to me is like a comedy in itself, because it's so hilarious. And I wish they would bring this show back in some shape or form, but I get to rewatch old episodes on the BET Plus app, so I'm okay with that for now. But yes, I watch Hell Date, and if you all are familiar with Hell Date used to air on BET back in the day when I was a youngster. And Hell Date it's like a blind date show where two participants would go out on a date with each other, and usually they have one person who is a comedian that's on a date with like a regular person, and the regular person just thinks this is a regular blind date, and so they're getting filmed and everything, and the date just goes horrible. The person that's a comedian, they start doing all this weird and hilarious stuff to try to get the other person upset. And then at the end, they had a little person dressed as Satan pop out and like, "You're on Hell Day." It had a little spear thing, like stabbing at the person and telling them like, "Ah, it's a joke." Ah. So yeah, I love that show, Hell Day. Another reality show that I watch on the BET Plus app is Ladies Night. Ladies Night is about Salt and Pepper, which is a legendary hip-hop group that features Salt and Pepper, two female rappers, and their DJ Spinderella. So they're on one half of the show, and then you have SWV, which is a legendary R&B group. So the two of these super groups joined together and they went on tour. I think it was maybe last year before last, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like a behind the scenes look of the tensions and everything that went on behind the tour, and just the dynamic of the groups and stuff like that. And it was very entertaining. I was kind of disheartened at the way that the show ended, but you know, things happen, especially when you have strong black women in groups together with differing personalities and history between them. BET Plus also features different documentaries, and I'm a crime buff. I like watching crime documentaries. So one of the crime shows that I watch on the BET app is American Gangster Trap Queens. BET used to run American Gangsters on TV, I believe, back in the day, but it would just feature like the men who were like notorious drug dealers and gang leaders and stuff. They would show that online. But on the BET Plus app, they actually showed that, you know, it was some women out here in the game too pushing weight. And it's narrated by my big homie, the rapper Jeezy. So, you know, I had to support him. He did a very good job narrating that show. And I think he was the perfect person to narrate it. And I think it's actually produced by Judge Greg Mathis. You know, he knows all about crack, you know, in Detroit, because that's where he's from. And, you know, as a judge, he done seen a lot. So yeah, the crime documentary American Gangster Trap Queens. I love watching that show. Trap Queens also features the women. They tell their story. Well, most of the women tell their story. There's a few that's like, you know, I ain't snitching, I ain't telling you, know, what I did, I'm innocent. But you know, they got the women up there telling their story, which is cool. And a lot of them have changed their lives and have learned from the different things that they did that put them, you know, in the federal penitentiary. I came across a cool documentary on BET Plus app, and I believe this was put together by the rapper Ice-T, who stars on Law & Order SVU, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, he has a documentary. Him along with Chris Rock, I think they put this together, and it's called Iceberg Slim, Portrait of a Pimp, I believe. And it's about the author Iceberg Slim, who was a pimp. Yes, he was a pimp back in the day, and he ended up writing books about his experience, and the different language and stuff that he used made him become very popular. So it's a behind the scenes look at Iceberg Slim and his days as a pimp and how he turned his experiences into different novels that became very popular. I also watched the crime show Murder in the Thirst, and this one is hosted by Lisa Ray McCoy. Lisa Ray McCoy is a famous actress. She starred in several different movies and TV shows. She is most famously known as starring as Diamond in the movie The Players Club. But yes, I feel like she was the perfect person to host this Murder in the Thirst show, and it's centered around different crimes that happen with wealthy black people, like people who had a lot of influence and a lot of money and stuff, how greed and, you know, different things led to their demise. And I feel like she's the perfect person to have hosted this show because she grew up in Chicago and her father was very wealthy and he was actually murdered. So she knows a lot about, you know, how it feels to go through, you know, the situation where greed can lead to taking someone's life. One show that I had to catch on the BET Plus app because they ended up canceling it after one season. It didn't even get a fair shot when it was on cable. But one show that I'm watching on BET Plus app is In Contempt. And it stars Erica Ash, and she's a public defense attorney. And it also has Christian Keys, who's another famous actor. But yeah, they're on the same legal team. But yes, they're public defenders, and they star as public defenders who go out of their way to make sure that they win their cases. And I felt like this show is really different because a lot of times, like when I've seen public defenders being portrayed in TV shows and stuff, public defenders don't care. They don't care about people going to jail or not. But her character, she goes to the extreme to make sure that her cases are solved. And the last episode, I believe it was the last episode or next to last episode, she was actually fighting a case where a young black boy, he murdered a white police officer, and just the uproar that happened because of that. And I felt like that episode was very important, being as the state that our country has been in with the civil unrest of, you know, black and brown men and women and children being unjustly murdered at the hands of police officers. There's a couple of crime movies that I've also watched on BET Plus app that I really like. One is called Influence, and that stars Deborah Cox, who is a famous singer. In the movie, she actually stars a famous singer who is being accused of murdering her husband, which is Anthony Hamilton, another famous singer. But yeah, so it's about her trying to prove her innocence. So yeah, that's a really good movie. And another movie on the BET Plus app that I'm watching is Sacrifice, which stars Paula Patton. And she stars as an entertainment attorney who goes out of her way to make sure that her clientele doesn't get convicted of different things that they did. And she's also battling with some childhood trauma. And I believe that movie is actually like a pilot to a proposed show that they're thinking about coming out with. I haven't heard, you know, anything about it coming into fruition. I don't know if maybe because of the pandemic they put off production of it, but I'm hoping that it still comes out because it ended with a little bit of a cliffhanger. So I'm like, oh, what happened? So yeah, the movie Sacrifice is really good. I was also happy to find out that they have seasons of Comic View on BET Plus app. Well, they only have one season in particular, and it has some more as the host, the comedian, some more. But you know, she did a decent job. I watched a few episodes that she had. She had the comedian Lil Rel on there. He is hilarious, and she even had an episode with Tiffany Haddish, and that was really good. And then the one with Carlos Miller, who is also a famous comedian. Oh my gosh, that guy had me rolling. I was dying laughing. Him and Lil Rel, they are so hilarious. So whenever I need a little pick-me-up or something to just laugh at, I like the fact that I can go on BET Plus and look at their seasons of Comic View, because they did that. They sure did. Their jokes were really funny. My last show that I watch on BET Plus app is called All the Way Black. And this is a show that has different famous black people, comedians, actresses, producers, everything. They're talking about different things in the black culture that we all can relate to, different rules in the black culture that we can't break, and myths and stuff like that. And it's very funny. It's kind of reminiscent of like the show I Love the 70s on VH1. They used to have I Love the 70s, I Love the 80s, I Love the 90s. But yeah, the show All the Way Black is really funny. I watched season 1, and I believe season 2 just dropped not too long ago, so I need to catch up. Alright you guys, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit the like button and drop down in the comments and let me know if you watch the BET Plus app and what are some of the things that you all are looking at. Alright you guys, well, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.